Medical graduates who refuse to work in Trinidad and Tobago's public health sector will be forced to repay tuition fees paid by government. And in sport, a 6-wicket win for Guyana Amazon Warriors in their CPL matchup against St. Kitts and Nevis Patriots. I'm Dawn Paris, and this is the Caribbean in 10 for Friday, August 10th. I'll be back with the details after the break. Amidst reports that hundreds of medical graduates in Trinidad and Tobago are unable to find employment, the government is saying it will offer jobs, but those who refuse will have to pay. We get the details in this CNC3 news report.
I was directed by the Cabinet today that house officers will now be offered employment in the public health system, and where they choose not to take up those offers, we will call in their gate loans and they will be asked to pay back the taxpayer.
It's a cabinet directive to deal with a complaint which arose again when government announced it was going to Cuba on a recruitment drive. Members of the public queried the move, asking why the ministry would be employing foreigners when there are a reported hundreds of medical graduates unable to find jobs. While the minister did clarify the vacancies were for specialist fields which can't be filled by locals. So where will the vacancies for the medical graduates be created? While the minister did say some vacancies would be created when the Couva Hospital is operationalized. He announced that government, in partnership with the University of the West Indies, has set up a special purpose company. It is to be 49% owned by government and 51% owned by the University of the West Indies. It's to be run by a 7-member board comprising ministry and UE officials, along with one public representative. The hospital, the minister said, will serve as a training facility.
Less than a week after he resigned as president of the Barbados Private Sector Association, businessman Charles Herbert, who's facing drug charges, has quit his position as chairman of Goddard Enterprises Limited. A statement issued by the company said Herbert voluntarily stepped down as chairman of the board effective August 7th. The resignation comes 2 weeks after Herbert appeared in a Barbados court charged with possession with intent to supply, trafficking, and the importation of 267 pounds of cannabis with an estimated street value of just over 534,000 Barbados dollars. 2 other Goddard Enterprise employees were charged along with him. The 3, Herbert, as well as non-executive director Chris Rogers and sailor Walter Prescott, were arrested after law enforcement authorities boarded a private yacht owned by Goddard Enterprises, Ecstasy. Herbert, 62, and Rogers, 56, have since been released on $400,000 bail, while Prescott's bail has been set at $450,000. Herbert has maintained his innocence. The Barbados Integrity in Public Life Bill is to be reviewed by a select committee of Parliament on August 27th. Attorney General Dale Marshall says it will be done in a manner that gives the public the opportunity to contribute to the discussion and the formulation of the new laws that govern the conduct of all public officers.
The select committee will be streamed live on Facebook. It will also be streamed on Parliament's website and on CBC television, if possible. The public will have every opportunity to inspect the legislation, the draft legislation. It will be available at the usual public places, the post office, Parliament buildings, public library, the government printing department, and so on. We anticipate that Barbadians will come out and participate robustly, and in fact, I would like to indicate to the public that this gives them an opportunity to speak frankly and in an open environment on the very burning issue of corruption in public life.
Sports is up next.
This hurricane tip comes to you compliments the Caribbean Disaster Emergency Management Agency and the Caribbean Media Corporation. Be prepared. Make sure you listen for official information to ensure that the all-clear announcement has been given.
Yeah, and another thing that we don't get into enough, Brady, is help a young man understand what it means to be a man.
That's right. I think, yeah, you're absolutely right. And I think that's one thing that when you were talking about video games and movies in particular is oftentimes you just see sort of one type of man in movies. And I think it's important, as you said, whether, you know, boys growing up need someone to confide in, whether that's talk about, you know, ideas or feelings that they have.
Shimron Hetmeyer's stunning unbeaten 79 from 45 balls steered Guyana Amazon Warriors from 24 for 3 to an ultimately comfortable 6-wicket victory over St. Kitts and Nevis Patriots in their CPL opener at Providence Stadium in Guyana last night. The Amazon Warriors did well to restrict the Patriots to 146 for 5 despite a well-crafted 86 from Chris Gale. But it looked an imposing total when 3 of Guyana's key men came and went inside the first 3 overs of the chase: Luke Ronchi, Shab Malik, and Chadwick Walton. But Gill's decision to throw the ball to Tom Cooper for the 4th over handed the initiative back to the Amazon Warriors. And Hetmeyer was the man to provide the finishing touch as he drilled Alzari Joseph back down the ground for the winning boundary with 3.5 overs remaining. Gale top scored for the Patriots with 86 runs, while Kimo Paul put in the best bowling performance for the side, finishing with figures of 2 for 16. Both sides are back in action tomorrow, with the Warriors hosting the St. Lucia Stars at Providence Stadium, while the Patriots head to Trinidad to take on the defending champions, Trinbago Knight Riders. But tonight, Knight Riders will take on Jamaica Tallawahs at the Queen's Park Oval at 8 o'clock. Well, ahead of the 3rd match of the season, both Trinbago Knight Riders and the Tallawahs are brimming with confidence before their showdown. The 2 teams have both won the CPL trophy twice and are hoping to do so a 3rd time. We get more from Ian Wason of C Sport.
After brushing aside St. Lucia Stars at the Oval on Wednesday, the Trinbago Knight Riders are hoping to do the same against the Tallawahs of Jamaica on Friday at the same venue. Both teams, however, are confident of victory on Friday.
We've prepared really well, very cohesive unit, sort of a family. You'll hear us say that a lot of the times. Good start last night, so we're just looking to push on from there.
Just looking to beat Trinbago Knight Riders at home because we like playing at Port of Spain and take their title off them. But I think you approach this one game at a time, and very similar from a Jamaican point of view, very much a family, and good contest Friday night.
Tallawahs captain Andre Russell, who is not only skippering the team for the first time, but is also back in the CPL after a year-long ban, is confident the Tallawahs can continue their good run, even without Gale and Sangakkara.
And that's Caribbean in 10. Join us at 6:30 this evening for Caribbean Newsline. Good afternoon.